Global Creative Director at Vodafone, and she's going to be talking to us how we bridge the gap.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you have a cup of coffee. Good to see so many faces again today. Yesterday was indeed mad, so I think it looks a little bit more sedated today, but, well, it looks busy in the background. Really happy to be here, and it feels like a bit of a déjà vu. I was at MadFest last year in June, sitting on a stage and talking about AI, but we talked about the fears. Is it going to take our jobs? Is it going to take over? How are we going to use it? What we're going to do with it? And not even a year later, just a few months later, the questions have slightly changed. They are more in depth. It's not about the hype. It's not about the fears anymore. It's much more, when we look at the details, is it taking over for what we're doing? Is it killing our creative? We are really in the depth of it now. We have moved so quickly, so fast, and in a very short time. We have 2025, and yes, there it is. There's so many tools out there. People are slightly getting overwhelmed. From the Midjourneys to the ChatGPTs to runways, so much to use. And people and creative teams seem to struggle, to take this all on board. And despite the fact, that we are asking, is it killing creativity? Is it taking over? There are now over 75% of teams who use AI on a daily basis. So this just really does lead to the question, we're using it everywhere, left, right, center. Is it really killing creativity? The world is pretty much divided on that. Because on one hand, we talk about, all about automated content creation, the potential loss of human touch with it. On the other hand, there's obviously the enthusiastic, all the stuff we can do now we weren't able to do before. I'm hugely enthusiastic because if I can now talk to my team and share my ideas with my team in a way they understand it, rather than black and white little scribbles and they have to decipher it and have no idea what I'm actually talking about. But there's two different things. Everyone can now use AI, from the CEO throughout the entire company to a 9-year-old. I have a 9-year-old at home who's using Midjourney when he comes home from school. He does his homework in Midjourney, and he brings his ideas to life. I find this amazing because it's great to see how the future, the youngsters, applying that. It becomes a part of their life. And I love when he does that, when he brings his creativity to life and his idea to life. But if my team comes and shows me a cat flying through the desert, I probably potentially think, what the heck's going on? Why is it relevant? So just because you can now make cats fly or elephants fly doesn't mean you're a creative guru. You just use a tool. So considering that we are all born as creative gurus, what happens? Why are we suddenly just happy with flying cats? If you think when we were born, we were all of us, everyone sitting in here, a creative genius. NASA has, in the 60s, had a study, the creativity study, and they have proven that everyone is born as a creative genius. So we all had these ideas, we all were creative, but over the lifespan, creativity decreases. So when they figured out when you're 5 years old, creativity decreases already only to 98%. Further decreases when you're around 10 years old, 15 years old, to rapidly goes down to 30%. Fast forward to grown-ups. You're in your 30s, well beyond your 30s, and there's apparently not a lot of creativity left, because it goes down to 2%. So what's responsible for that? Why does creativity decrease? But also, how can we differentiate between the AI creativity and the technology? And how can we ensure that the last 2% isn't wiped out by all the tools we now have? I want to take a step back because we are blaming AI and technology for the sea of sameness to suck out the creativity in our lives. However, when we look back, way before tech, way before AI, we've built the same, we created the same logos, similar logos. We've created the same cars. The cities look the same. Our Instagram channels look the same. And we even trying to look the same. So why? Why is that? When have you last time truly created something unique? I think we're focusing on the wrong thing. We have to think about creating fresh and exciting content. And we can't blame AI to do that for us or to take that away from us. So the way we are creative, we learn from our surroundings. It's our cultural backgrounds. It's our upbringing. Everything that's around us defines who we are, how we behave, what we create. So it's not the technology that takes or directs our creativity. It's us, ourselves. So that means that human creativity and AI creativity come closer and closer because humans create what might be. And we say AI creates what already exists. But as we just looked at it, we know we do similar things. So how can we make sure that we now use the technology to elevate our creativity to our own advantage? The first thing what we need to do is we need to stop using AI just for the sake of it, okay? And focus much more on the why. What makes us human is the ability to understand the whys, emotional resonance, cultural differences. AI can't do that well enough for now, but it's us who have to ask the critical questions and then use the tools to bring that to life. As I said, going back to the flying cat, just because you can do it doesn't mean it's necessarily right. Really be critical on the output. Embrace technology. We all have different workflows. We sit in different teams, we sit in different environments, different agencies, client side, anything. I think the way you can be successful with AI in creativity is embracing it and not defeating it. Learn how to direct AI rather than to use it. Because just using it is a fast cut, and at some point you will lose. It's fantastic. We have new tools, amazing tools, and that creates great opportunities as well. So use the opportunity, but be critical and learn to direct it, and don't just give in. If you wonder how to apply that within your workflows, there's 4 little round sort of pillars to build from. Look at your surroundings, assess your workflows. They all look different. One isn't the same. How does the design process look like? How does the creative process look like? Where do you spend most of the time? Or where do you lose most of the time? I think that's a really good point to start from, because that's of the first little gap where you can potentially seed or plant that seed called AI. But then also evaluate the suitability. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to apply it everywhere, okay? Again, it makes sense. Sometimes you need another creative around the table. That's fine, get it. Get a different viewpoint. No one says you just need to use it. Or it's about speed or efficiencies. Then bring technology in there. But really make sure you put it where it's suitable. And then prioritize these high impact areas. Doesn't have to be for your entire workflow. It might be in your workflow, it just helps. You need an extra creative brain around the table. Have a ChatGPT there, use a Midjourney. That's perfectly fine. Or it's all about you need to create tons of content, put it there, that makes sense. And then probably the most important for me is the learn and improve. There is no finish line. Yes, the hype is gone. We're way down the path of implementing and integrating technology, AI, in our work processes. There is no finish line. If you imagine how far we've come in 18 months, in 12 months, it's incredible. So please don't think in the next 12 months we have it all sorted, because we do not have that. What it just shows you, it's going rapidly and fast forward. Learn with that, okay? It might be you know where to put AI right now. That might not work out in the 6 months' time. That's fine, because tools are rapidly changing, evolving, growing, and new stuff comes on the market. So embrace that. Learn, change, and evolve constantly. In our team, we use AI across 2 key points. And yes, we do use it as a creative collaborator. We do invite AI to our brainstorming sessions. We have a lot of fun with it, and I think that's really important that you do allow to have fun. I remember a few months back when team members were afraid to come to me and tell me they've used AI because they felt they were cheating. I've read a lot of posts where people say, if you use the AI, you're not a creative. Do not call yourself a creative. I think that's completely BS. You are a creative. You're just using a tool that allows you to bring your ideas to life. We do that on a daily, weekly basis. Sometimes we put something in, something unexpected comes out, and we can learn from the unexpected. We don't necessarily have to run with it, but it gives us a different and a new viewpoint. So we're embracing it, and we have fun with it. The next point, we're using it as an intelligent enabler. If you're in a production company and produce loads of content, have you ever heard a designer or any designer creative come to you jumping up and down when you've told them, you need to create this asset across 5 different channels, we need at least 12 different sizes and about 20 different languages? No one ever liked to do that. Well, I definitely didn't. And my creatives don't. Now they don't have to do that anymore because we've integrated AI in our tech to make this much faster, more efficient. That allows them to then really focusing on the why question and the creativity. In a nutshell, we know technology is evolving faster than ever. Probably more than we've ever imagined. I'm personally brutally excited that I am here, as in physically, but in this time, in this area. I love that I can bring my ideas to life. I can communicate my ideas with my team much quicker. But what we need to consider is that whilst technology is fantastic, we're the ones who are actually responsible for technology. We're responsible for the tech we have, because there's a big difference, and that big difference will always be between tech and humans. What makes us humans is the stories, our stories. AI, no tech will the right story for you. It is your story, but you have the chance to use the technology to bring your stories to life, to share your stories, to share your experiences. You're the creatives. You're the innovators. Without your creativity, without all of our creativity, without all our innovation, we would not have AI. We would not have Gen AI. We would not be here. Technology needs our creativity to thrive. Thank you.